to part one of Wilbinga trip. Everyone, had a great time out there. So here's some of the footage for part one. I've sped a lot of this up because it can be a bit slow. So this is the entrance to it. It's quite a long gravel way, which you can tell there is quite eroded out in this section. So it can be a bit of a bumpy ride. So you probably want to deflate your tyres a little bit to get through this area, so it's not as bad. And then when you stop further up, you deflate them a bit further before you hit the sand. And then you'll come up shortly when we get towards the end of this long road to the entry point, which takes quite a few minutes, but this is quite a bit sped up. You'll have a couple of different routes to take. You can go straight, I think, is where towards the shacks are. Right is another direction. Left is the easiest way towards Wilbinga Dunes 1. And that's the track that we end up taking. Well, in all, is a fantastic trip. Easy to get lost in. Part two, we videos from the second day where we were forward driving more through some of the different tracks, through the back of Wilbinga, through the dunes and up through some certain sections, and then got some drone footage of some of the driving on the beach, and then back up and around. So some other footage to come, but I just thought this is a great way to bring you in, so you get an idea of where, going in on the road, what to expect, and at least get you to the dunes, because once you're in there, it can be kind of confusing. There's so many tracks going everywhere. We went through quite a few. I went up quite a few different little mountains, and some I got stuck on, or didn't quite make it all the way, and then you choose a different route. But it's quite easy to get lost in that sort of area because there's so many tracks. But it is a lot of fun. Definitely gonna have to go back and explore some more of the area. So this is where it opens up, and you can make your choices as to where you go. So you can see just off to the right's where you could go for the shacks, and this is that sort of open area. So we choose to take the left route, and I've sped this up quite a bit because it's just a bit dreary just watching us going through this track area. It's not too bad. It's just a few bits and places where you get some rocks, like some limestone rocks, so it's good to watch out for some of those and go around certain sections. But most of that's pretty good. And then once you've finished this, you open up towards where you had for some reason it stopped there and I had to catch up. So I sped this one up quite a bit because it's it's actually quite a lengthy journey just to get into the dunes themselves. It actually takes quite some time. I think in total, 20 odd minutes, I think, to get to this position at this stage. That's how fast this video has been sped up, just to make it a little bit less boring watching us go past. But as you can see, this is pretty easy going. It's not hard. It's not soft. But there you can see you're slowing down for some of those limestone big boulders. You just want to watch out for some of those and maybe manoeuvre around a few spots so you don't have to get stuck there. As you can see there, we take big wide turns to miss a few. And that's John's leading us there at this stage, so he's leading us in. He said he's done this a few times. And then after you get through the main section, you end up, it opens right up, and then you end up at the section where you can, as you get close to the beach, you end up right to the section where you can open up into going up the big old sand dune. and that's probably where you've got to make sure that you've got your tie down. Depending on the conditions, it can actually get kind of difficult, kind of soft, especially on the second day we were up there. It was nice and soft to start with, and second day when we went back up to the top to do some trax, people had torn it up doing donuts and all sorts, and it was just horrid to drive on, compared to this first day when we go up there where it's nice and smooth and really enjoyable driving. We're getting pretty close at the moment. I thought I'd sped this up quite a lot more so I didn't have to bore you with my conversation for so long. But it was a really great, I highly recommend going to Wilbinga, even if it's just for some of this forward driving. I wouldn't think it's that difficult as long as you got your tyres deflated down. For some of the sand, maybe down to around about that 15 level when you get to the soft stuff. But when we're up on the main section of the line, I wasn't that low and I managed just fine. But certain parts of it can get kind of tricky, especially going up the sand dunes. And on the second day, some of those hills, they were really tricky. I had to turn diff lockers on and to get through one or two of the really rutted out sections where they've got big old holes as you try and navigate up a hill. So we're getting close to the big sand dune that you drive up, and can be a bit deceptive because as you look at it, it doesn't look like you give it enough momentum to get up and you think you reach to the top, and then there's actually plateaus slightly out before it actually hits the top. We had to just stop. I think there was someone there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there was someone there and we had to stop, and he backed up and let us through. You can actually see how jutted that area is that we just moved through there, with the bumpiness of the ride. So yeah, just be careful when you do go up that first dune, just to keep that momentum going until you reach the peak and you're over the top. So we're pretty much there. There's only a few seconds left before we're hitting that dune. But as you can see, it is quite a long drive in. So, and this is the main route that you'll be taking in and out to get into the main area. And then you can go all through the tracks from about this point on. So now you can see the dune coming up ahead of us, and that's the dune that you're going to go up. And it's a hell of a lot of fun, and it's not that soft that it's really that difficult, because as you can see, we start going. Always make sure when you're going up these any sort of dune, that's always straight, just like demo there from John. Perfect, just straight up. And then you got me. I actually had to give it a bit of gas just then because I didn't realise it plateaued out. And then we just waited there for the other guys to catch up, and then we headed on down to the beach to drive along the beach line to find somewhere to set up and maybe have a fish, or also just to drive along the beach. And I didn't speed this one up. Oops, my bad. But it's this. This is nice. John did a great help for us by showing us, giving us an example of how to do a good recovery. When we get down to the beach, it was quite soft. And he decided to help us out for one of our videos to do a recovery, which comes up in a bit. Unfortunately, I put my finger when I was videoing out slightly over the camera, which is unfortunate because it's just on the edge, so you miss a little bit of it. But yeah, you can see down low there, I'm actually following quite behind him, and I realised that it's quite soft. I was using his lines, and then I realised it is quite soft down here, so I jumped up onto the main line here, because yeah, I can feel it's rubbing now. If you can see ahead, you can see us the amount of digging and churning it's creating that he's trying to get back up, and that's how, because it's so soft down there, couldn't quite get the momentum to get back up. It was just continual churning, trying to drive the car to get it to go where up the top, but she just didn't want to. She just wanted to keep going down that slope, go closer to the water, and then you can see deviate swiftly down as you try to come up. You can just tell there with how much rutted out that section was. It just wouldn't allow it, and it got to a point where you can see it's just churning through it. It's still moving though, you got momentum going, but then you get to a point where you can see that it's just, there you can see a lot of churned up sand. It's just getting a lot of struggle. She's starting to dig in more, getting deeper, and he makes a great call by deciding to go, when he gets to the point where he goes, you know what, this isn't working. Nice sideways movement there. You can see trying to steer her to get up, but the car just keeps going down because of that. One, because the sand's so soft, and two, we're on that angle. See there, that was where he tries to steer right up to get up. Didn't quite make it, and it's quite nicely set himself up there for a recovery. So I drive up ahead just to get on some harder sand, and then we go back and we grab out some max trax, and I only required 2 sets, like two goes at it. I missed the first one, but I got this second one, so we lined them all up like that. Sorry about my finger. And then all he did, give it some gas, went over all 4 max trax and my DIY ones, and got enough acceleration, got through that soft stuff, right up momentum, and on to the top line straight in front of me. So that was easy done. So as you can see, if you're in the soft stuff, just when you're seeing that sort of sideways action happening, you're not getting the momentum to get up, it's nothing better just to stop and reassess and get out and do a simple recovery like that. And it didn't take us that long really. I think it 5, maybe 10, 20 minutes I think in total, mucking around, sorting that stuff out. And then we keep going for a little while until we find the guy stopped to fish off this nice little reef, which is a beautiful section. Just a bit further up, there's quite a few people out, nicely camped up. So he stopped up on. Look at this beautiful stretches of beach along here, and the sand that we're travelling along this top line is quite firm. I would easily manage this on a 20 psi. I wouldn't manage the down low section where John was a little bit earlier, where he got soft. I'd probably go down to 15 down in there, but up here 20 easy, no dramas through that stuff. When they pull over here, I think it's a reef, we stop. This is at low tide too, by the way. So they stop here at low tide. I thought I'd go up ahead because it's a little as you can see as I go forward, because I want to have a squeeze past. There's a car there, and there's a beautiful open beach with no reef and nice white sand. That's why I come down to have a quick squeeze at it, and then I go between those guys and miss the guys got on the main right line. I avoid them. You go around this sort of really rocky reef area, then get back up on the main line, and I wanted to see if you can get around this point up the top here. But as I discovered with Wilbinga, there's obviously you couldn't get around there. You have to go around the top section and go over the top and then get back down on the beach. But because everyone had already set up, I thought, well, there's no point in me can just keep going. I just wanted to have a quick squeeze to see what happens. But yeah, one of the things I noticed is that this happens a lot that can do. I think Peter comes up. Oh no, maybe it wasn't in that shooting shot. I'm pretty sure he followed me up there. But anyway, so I just flogged back down to pack up with the rest of the guys, and that was day one. That was pretty much most of day one. yeah, you got to watch when you go over that rocky reef section, just nice and gentle. You don't want to do any damage to your car or tyres going over some of that stuff too quick, like I am on the sand. But yeah, quite firm up top. And then I park up with everyone else and we have a fantastic day, having a cast, enjoying the beauty. I mean, look at it, it's beautiful scenery, beautiful beach, really nice places to go and hide. And this was, so I just park it up here. And we spent most of the afternoon here, throwing a line out every now and again. So that was where we are. There's the some of the pictures of what we were looking at. That's all the guys that were down there, and so guys and ladies down there for the trip. And that's some of the scenery. That's where we set up for the night. That's Will's garfish. We caught a couple of these rasps, which is pretty cool. So that's part one, and when I get a chance, I'll do part two for the second day and some of the stuff we did then. So until then, catch you later. Thanks, guys.